So, Delroy, Freddie, welcome to the studio. Would you like to tell me a bit more, and the listeners, of course, about the Youth Peace Project?
Well, the initiative was set up with myself and Lynn Norfield from the Gloucestershire Constabulary, and I guess you're aware that over the last sort of 6 months, a lot of the local youth clubs have shut, including one of mine that I used to run, Star 66, and I was made redundant at Christmas. And it's just been I think it's just been a sort of downhill slope really with the youth provision in Gloucester, because there's been over 12 different youth clubs have shut in the Gloucestershire area, and I'm just starting to see now the impact that it's having on young people, but also families and other agencies that sort of work with young people in the street capacity as well as sort of in-house. So yeah, myself and Lynn sort of sat down and we decided that we'd apply for this pot of money from criminals' assets to provide more youth club provision for Gloucester, and we applied for it on the sort of not really knowing that we were going to get the funding. It was sort of hit and miss really, and then yeah, just over 2 months ago, Lynn had given me a lovely phone call to say that we'd got the funding, the £20,000 that we applied for. So that was a big sort of like, yeah, we're sort of moving forward a bit now. So we sort of headhunted youth club provisional buildings. One or two we looked at were looking quite promising, but for some reason towards the end they decided to pull out. So we had to sort of go to plan B. And now we are going to be running our youth club provision from your building. Yes, thank you, welcome.
So carry on.
So we sort of met up with Carol Francis, and we sort of sat down and said, right, what can we offer you and what can you offer us in the sense of the building? And we're going to be running starting from next week 2 youth club provision nights from the Trust Centre.
So from what you said there, I can understand a little bit about about you guys were inspired by the fact that so many of the youth clubs were shutting down, and like you said, Star 66, which I know a lot of people out there in the community would have went to. Even my sister went to there. She did her dancing and whatnot.
It's got a lot of history.
It has indeed. Yeah. So apart from that inspiring you, what else was it? What makes you channel towards young people?
Well, I'll talk a bit about it, as I said. I think, without going into depth in my past, but sort of having some sort of childhood myself, I know that I didn't really have any sort of role models or anybody to sort of believe in when I was younger, or any sort of youth club provision that I could go to where I'd feel safe and get involved in activities, and for people to be there to sort of believe in me that I could do this, or I could become a professional rapper or a sportsman or a dancer. So I think if we were sort of if you were asking me why I think this was a thing to do, I think it's because, as I said, there's so many young kids at the moment, and there's a need for it, and I think there's so many young kids at the moment who are sort of getting involved in antisocial behaviour. We've seen a massive increase in gang culture in Gloucester. I currently also work in primary and secondary schools in my day job as a learning mentor, and it's becoming quite a problem in secondary and primary schools with local young kids getting affiliated with gangs. There's been, and I said, I'm sure Lynn would be able to give you the statistics on that, but there's been quite a huge increase in weapon behaviour in Gloucester, where young people carrying knives. There's been 3 or 4 incidents involving knives with young black-on-black crime. And I just think, like I just said, this Youth Peace Project is just to sort of highlight that, okay, all youth clubs are shutting, but there are passionate youth workers out there, and there's passionate officers who are very passionate about working with the local communities and making a difference. It may not be a massive difference, but this £20,000 really is just a tip of the iceberg in the sense of funding cost for the youth club provision that we're looking to set up. But again, it's a start, so hopefully with the support of other agencies and funding, hopefully we will continue this journey with working with the local authority and other agencies, including my charity that I run called Increase the Peace, that it's been running now for 4 years. So I think the Youth Peace Project will sort of come under the same umbrella, but as a youth project rather than just steering on music and dance, because that's Increased Peace has been sort of focused on music over the last 3 years.
So you said there about, you look in the media, and a lot of what you said there about some of the young kids getting involved in violence and stuff, a lot of that's either attributed to poor parenting, or it's attributed to for example, schools not giving the necessary education. Is this a wider community problem? Is it for us all to take this up, whether we've got children or not?
This has been going on for years, and it's not just in Gloucestershire. They said that properly. It's all up and down the country. The gang and knife crime has been going on for years. You know, poverty's been around for forever. I mean, I worked in London, in South London, and was working with youth that were with the gang culture, dealing with issues such as poverty, you know, mental and physical abuse, social skills, awareness for themselves, to have belief in themselves, low confidence, low self-esteem. We had to come together, because I've seen, even though you can save one child, you can't save everybody. And the thing about it, sometimes I've seen the effects of what gun and knife culture can do to families, and also to the community, and also to themselves. And when I located to Gloucester, I sat down with my wife, and I needed to find somebody that was working in the community, someone that was passionate, so that I can continue doing what I'm doing, and make a change to the youth. And when I met Delroy, who was doing his charity, Increase the Peace, he told me about this youth project that he's going to do. And when his club closed down, it made me realise that we need to do this quickly, because I've seen that Gloucester has got a lovely community, but also the kids have got nowhere to go, and they've got nowhere to go, and nowhere to show them, no one to show them what to do. So on that front, it's important that we show them that we got somebody, and we've got people that believe in you, that will show you that you've got potential, that this is the right way to do things, even though you can do wrong things, but hopefully we can come together and make it happen, put a smile on their face, really. So take it from there, really.
So why should young people come along then? Because I'm a young person, I'm 13 years old, I'm 14 years old, you're telling me don't go and get involved in trouble, don't get involved in graffiti or gun crime or drugs, and I'm saying, well, my mates are doing that, that's what I want to do. Why should I come along to your youth project rather than going out with my friends and having a laugh on the street?
Well, that's a good question, actually, and I think it breaks it down, really, because I think the way that we look at running our provisional youth club sessions is about starting to give young people opposite to sort of start to believe in themselves, and not just also think about, okay, I have to follow X, Y and Z. And I think that's the thing with the young people of today, is that they don't have that many choices in life. They don't get a chance to be around inspiring people who they can look at and think, okay, I can see this guy's been through a lot. And people say, oh yeah, you can never really tell unless somebody talks what they've been through. But I feel with my past, a lot of people say, oh God, Dad, I can tell that you've been there and done it. And I think if we're providing them with a service where they know that it's an ongoing service, and we're not going to let them down, because as you know, the youth of today, they're getting let down left, right and centre, i.e. youth clubs shut in, agencies shut in, like different agencies in the academic sort of community, like different courses now, different IT courses shutting down, young people not able to access certain monies that they used to when they've left school because of all the cutbacks. And I just think young people are feeling very disheartened and very, you know what I mean, their attitude towards society at the moment is very negative. And I think when they come into these youth club environments, we will start to believe in them, and then they will start to believe in us, and then hopefully it becomes like a snowball effect. And again, I can't say that this is going to change every young person. And my dad always said to me, do you know what I mean, you can't change the world, but you can change your community. And I think I always try to keep that moral in my mind, is that this is only the tip of the iceberg, what we're doing. And I'm very, very grateful for all the support that I've had from Lynn Northfield and some of the other people in the local sort of police service. And I just hope this is an ongoing project, because people are feeling quite negative about things, that, oh, well, I wonder how long that's going to last for, it's only going to be so long before that shuts in. And I don't want people to feel that. And that's why I think the message Youth Peace Project is a strong message out there. And if people are affiliated with something that means something, it's a bit like the GFM family. Do you mean you're a family? This is what we want to make this new project about. We want it to be a family. We don't want it to be like, oh, you can't come in because you're not involved in this, or you can't come in because you're too late. it's about the community, and I think
also
that's
to express yourself as well. You want the child to express themselves. You want them. Sometimes they're left alone at home to grow up too fast, so they need, and they sometimes can't even do it at school. But if they can come and express themselves and anything that they want to do, let them know that there's a place that they can come to, feel safe, and come together with different cultures, age groups, and come together and express themselves and be happy. And we can make a safe net for them. Then it's a chance.
Very true. Georgia?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what can, like, young people expect to do when they're with you, and can they expect, like, if they need someone to talk to, that they'll get that kind of thing?
Depends how much you pay me, does it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. You see, we're looking at the moment the sort of junior group. Is on a Wednesday from 4:30 till 6:30, and we'll be doing various different sort of local, because that's the thing, you see, we don't want them to make them feel like they're at school, so we don't really want to go down the academic sort of like priority road where they come in and they say, right, you have to do this, you have to fill in this form, we want them to come in, be able to meet with their friends, enjoy the environment that they're in, and get involved in activities including sports, music, dance, life skill stuff. So we're looking at key skills, looking at maybe if we got a young person who's lacking in self-confidence, we'll be looking at sort of motivational sort of workshops and things like that. But these will come as the project sort of develops, because hopefully we may not have a massive influx of young people who've got a lot of needs, but if they have, then we will have to deal with them on a weekly basis. And if we can't deal with them, then we would look at probably getting specialist workers to come in and sort of offer their support.
I think that's really important what you said about, like, building up confidence and key skills, because not, like, in all my time at school, no one's ever, like, sat down and said, like, you know, you should be confident about who you are and be the person you want to be. So I reckon that's really important. That's going to, like, help a lot of people.
It seems that life for the children or the youth today is at a fast pace, so much faster than when I was a kid. So it's nice if we can get a place or an environment that they can slow down, take a step back, and see what they would like to do. And then we can provide it, then it will be all good after that.
And I think, like what you've just said there, I think with working in schools, the young people don't really get a chance to sort of have the opportunity to be told enough by teachers, you know what I mean, this is something that you need to work on. It might be confidence, self-esteem, tolerance, do you know what I mean? Praise, the personal development. And I think a lot of the youth clubs that I've seen that have gone and been sort of not a stink, but sort of gone under funding now, a lot of them have got the same problem that they're having. Young kids saying, oh, I've got nowhere to go, now I'm getting involved in antisocial behaviour, I'm getting under my mum's feet. And that thing, again, getting under your mum's feet may only be a little major problem to them, but to their mum, just them 2 hours every Wednesday for their child not being under their feet and knowing that they're somewhere safe where they're actually getting taught how to develop their skills in either sports, dance, music, drama, arts and craft. I just think it's real crucial to have that provision for young people. And I would just like to think that in the next couple of years we've got maybe 3 or 4 of these different youth projects running around Gloucester in different areas.
So Lynn, looking at it from the police perspective, is it important for you guys as well to get involved in this in whatever way you can, whether that's verbal support or a presence? Is it important for you to be involved as well?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, obviously we're not planning to turn up and interfere with what Del's doing. Del and Freddie are the experts at running the youth club, so we're not going to be there overseeing things or anything like that. We're very much a supporting role. But from our point of view, it's just about getting the kids doing something positive. And also from the wider community point of view, I think sometimes kids are portrayed very negatively nowadays. I've got teenage kids myself, and I do think that kids often suffer from a bit of negative press generally. And I think this kind of thing will help to combat that, because it's young kids doing positive stuff. That's what it's all about. It's as simple as that. And you can't go wrong. If you're getting kids involved in positive stuff and building their confidence and letting the community see how valuable the young kids are, then that'll make a huge difference.
Is there, out on the street, is there a real increase, like Delroy said, in the amount of trouble that young children are getting involved in? And you know, from a police perspective, could this possibly be down to the fact that these facilities aren't out there for them to get involved in?
I think there can be a link. I mean, obviously with the finances, the way they are in the world at the minute, it's very difficult to tell at the moment, because I think, unfortunately, we're probably only at the beginning of all the financial issues we're going to have. It's difficult to really tie that together, but I certainly think anecdotally in the last year or so we have seen an increase in problems, and I think, you know, if we can get youngsters of 8 and 9 involved in, you know, really good stuff, that they're enjoying coming to youth club and they've got an alternative to getting into trouble, that can only be a good thing. And what we don't want is for any of the problems we've got at the moment to escalate. We have had a few incidents where there have been weapons and things like that involved, but they are still very rare. Thankfully, that is very rare in the Gloucester community. But, you know, we want to try and avoid anybody getting involved in any sort of trouble. So, you know, anything we can do to back up this project, we will be doing.
Brilliant, that's fantastic. And it's good to know that, obviously, that, you know, you guys there have got the support from, you know, what effectively are the major institutions within the community, not over only the community, but, you know, the wider country. You need that, don't you? You need to know that you're getting the support from people like the police force, from the local authorities and stuff like that.
I'd just like to say, I think that's what you just said there is right, because I think at the moment there is a lot of the morale in the youth service, the morale in the police service, and that I know people said that it's quite low, and I just think everybody's feeling the pinch. And when I lost my job at Christmas after 8 years running my own youth club, I had to sort of living in the Linden area that I was running the youth club from. I had to speak still now day to daily to young kids who were saying, "Oh, when's the next youth club opening?" And it's quite upsetting for me, because this wasn't my choice. And again, I'm not sort of slating the county council or what have you. I just feel that people need to start looking a bit closer to them. I know they're going about this big society, but I think, you know, I mean, we need to look more what's going on in our community rather than what's going on outside in the big world, because again, we're all financially struggling if we're charities or local community projects. So and also, if people would like to get involved in volunteering for the new YPP project, then my email is darryellis@hotmail.co.uk, and my contact number is 07974 435 624.
Is it okay for parents to come along on the first occasion just to check it out and have a word with you guys?
Tomorrow, the 3rd of August, at 5 o'clock at the Trust Centre, Conduit Street, we will be having the registration night where parents can bring along their children and sign up for the following Thursday, the following Wednesday, for the first junior night. And the juniors is every Wednesday from 4:30 till 6:30, and that's age 8 to 12-year-olds. And Thursdays is seniors is 7 till 9, and that is and again that's on this on the Thursday, and it's £1 entry.
Well, there you go then. That's like chicken feed the kids now, isn't it? £1.
Also, on the note of volunteering, we will have to have we want a committee to sort of help steer the youth club and you know, give us advice and ideas and see things to do. So if there's anyone in the community who wants to get involved in that, to come along and see us, because we are looking for some adults to come and give us a bit of support. And it would just be a meeting that will probably be an hour and a half-ish, probably every 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, just to give us some ideas and advice and make sure we are doing what the community wants us to do. So if anybody wants to get involved in volunteering for that, have a word with Delroy or you know, catch one of the local officers when we're on patrol and have a chat about that, because we're really keen to get people from the community, you know, having some input and being involved in what we're doing.
I'm aware that we're running out of time, but one thing I do want to ask, Lynn, you know, the young kids, some of them have this image of the police in their head and they think that they can't approach them, they can't talk to them. You know, what would you say? You know, kids, can they just come up to you if they've got questions they want to ask, whatever?
Of course they can. We're more than happy to that. You know, that's what we're there for. You know, I'm sure any of my officers out and about, if the kids want to approach us and ask any questions or get involved in anything, that's absolutely fine. We're always really happy to see what's going on in the local community and get to know people. And, you know, that goes for, you know, we've got all sorts of projects on the go. You know, at the moment we're trying to get a project going. We'll get some football sessions going with some kids from the local community, all sorts of bits and pieces. So we're always happy to have a chat with people and get involved in stuff. But at the same time, it's like this youth club project, it's not going to be full of police officers watching what the kids do or anything like that, because that's not appropriate. We want the kids to come and have fun. We're just there to support. But if at the same time Del and Freddie that need us, we'll do whatever we can. But it's not about us, watching the kids and making sure they're not doing anything they should be doing. It's about them having fun.
Yeah, there you go. And it's, maybe it's good links for the children, because obviously something that's supported by the police, maybe future careers and aspirations.
Yeah. We've got a drive on for special constables in a minute, so if the older ones have got ideas in that direction, I can give them advice and all that.
Oh, there you go.
We need special constables. If there's anyone over 18 who's interested from the community, great, we'll have them.
See, there you go.
I'll sign them up straight away.
But yeah, no, it's a really positive message. It's a really important message you guys are pulling out there, and I really do encourage all of the young people.
It's for them, really, isn't it? It's for them, not for us.
Yeah,
it's for them.
exactly. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. Yeah.
I guess you're just the scaffolding, so to speak, just holding it up in place for them to make it. There you go, then the foundations. But yeah, we encourage all the young people to get along, and hopefully we can keep one of these flyers for the young people show on a Thursday geared towards the younger children, and can get that read out and hopefully get a really good turn up, because like you said, it's nice for the kids to have somewhere to go, and especially once the fair and all of that's maybe disappeared, they're going to be wondering what to do.
I think the boredom kicks in then, and that's when, like you said, antisocial behaviour goes out the window.
That's when the trouble starts.
So hopefully, like I just said, this, as I said again, I know I keep mentioning, but this is really just a tip of the iceberg. Really, it's great that we've got this money, but again, in a year's time, we might be sat here saying, "Oh, we haven't got the money." And again, I know you, your radio station are in the same sort of predicament, and I think, they're both pushing out their positive message in different ways, in a sense. So I think maybe in the future a bit more partnership work.
Well, there you go. Well, thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you very much, Freddie and Delroy, for coming into the studio. And I better wrap up now and hand over to Julie.